Okay, we are live. Hello, Anne.
Morning, Chris. Now I've stuffed up already, but morning, Christine from Australia. How are you?
I'm good. You can see it's very dark out.
Well, yes, it's quite warm here. I'm sitting in air conditioning, thank heavens. So you're going to tell me it's a little chilly over
It's
there.
freezing. It was when I came upstairs, it was 28 degrees. So let's see. Oh,
Well, 20,
I
it's only
can't.
28 degrees here, Christine.
Is it the same? Oh, yours is
Well,
28 also?
ours is 28, but centigrade.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Yeah. So it was cold and we had we have a wind chill. You probably don't have a wind chill, do
Yeah,
you?
we do. Yeah, we
Okay.
do. Well, we
It was a
have something
bit,
similar. I feel like, and most of
yeah.
it's in summer, feels like 6 degrees hotter than 28 degrees.
Yeah, ours feels like, I don't know, in the teens. It's
Yeah.
cold. It had a bit of wind. Um, but that's all right. Our I'm gonna say this meteorol I can never say it. Meteorological spring starts tomorrow. I can't say that word.
Well, I'm not going to
Meteor
help you out. And for those that are watching,
I don't know if
we're
anyone's
just
on. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we're just
Okay.
waiting till a couple get on, and then we're going to get started.
And please,
Um,
if you're watching, let us know if you can hear us, because that's important. And if you can see us, because that's also important.
yeah, let me know. I mean, it's really great when everyone interacts. It makes us probably step it up a little bit more, makes our day rather than just talking to each other, which is
Which is
lovely.
lovely. Yes, but
But
it's fun to respond to the comments. So people are just slowly getting on. So as you get on, um, we'll reintroduce ourselves in a second, but let us know that you're here, who you are, that you can hear us, and where you're from. If this is your first live, or if you're a repeater. All right. So
and
now,
Christine, let me know because we've as always we've changed the technology again this week. So let me know if you have any comments yet,
not
and then
yet.
we'll know whether the
Right.
comments are showing on both. So for the first time ever, with fingers crossed, I'm live streaming to YouTube for our joint lives. I've always been live streaming to Facebook and YouTube on my Wednesday nights, but
Yeah.
today I'm live streaming to both as well. So if you are watching from wherever you're watching, let us know whether you're watching on for both Christine and I, you're on YouTube, which one you're on, Facebook, which one you're on, and let us know a little bit about where you're watching from. So, Christine, I might hand it back over to you.
Alrighty. So far I don't see any comments, and that could be either a technical problem or
Yeah.
or that no one's written anything. Because we switched it up, we're not sure, but we'll just keep going with it and hope that it's working. All right, so I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Christine Jofte of Mail Something Pretty. Oh, yay, we got someone. Okay, Jeanne from Oregon. Excellent. All right, so she is from the other coast of where I am from. All right, good. Phew, that's a big relief. Thank you, Jeanne.
At least Oregon can hear us.
Yes, yes. So I'm from the East Coast, Massachusetts, of the United States, and my friend here.
I'm Anne Lewis. I'm from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. So I'm going to say I'm on the east coast as well of Australia, and I'm in the subtropical. And Julie, hi Julie, good to see you. Now, Julie comes from Gagango. Now, when you think of typical Australian outback little towns, Gagango is it.
I'm
It
glad you
is,
pronounced that because I don't know if I would have pronounced that correctly.
well, I'm just pretending I know how to pronounce it. I do. I used to go through it all the time. But Gagango probably, it's been a while since I've gone through, I think it's only got about 18 houses. And it is not in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot further out back, but it's pretty well out back. And
Cool.
Rachel
Is
and you're
Connet
CT.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Thank you. Audio,
So
Christine, I'm handing back to you. Oh, sorry.
Alrighty. No, that's fine. So thank you very much for watching. As you guys watch, just let us know where you're from. Even on the replay, let us know, because it's fun for us to know where you're from. If this is the first time you've watched us, there's some newer names. It's nice to see new people. And all right, so let's see, let's get some business stuff out of the way. So for me, for United States people, it is still Celebration. It is our last night of Celebration. It is February 29th. And I am running a mystery host party, which I do every so often. And this is the best mystery host party I've ever had. So right now, the Stampin' Rewards are up to $215, which is just crazy. So one of the people who have ordered with a host code will win that amount. And so they'll be randomly chosen tomorrow. So if you want to get in on that, please, I'm just trying to think let me see if I can, I can. I'm going to there's the host code. I'll just leave it up there for a second. That's the host code if you want to get in. It will raise the Stampin' Rewards. It'll give you a chance to win. And so I'll be going live tomorrow. And all right, Debbie from North Dakota's on. I know Debbie. And Ethel from New Jersey. Excellent. All right. So that's the business thing. Yeah.
So just to clarify, neither the host code or Celebration will work in Australia anymore because it closed yesterday. And the host code is for Christine's customers. I've got a different host code. Yes.
Yes.
Which will be renewed today.
Right. It's I'll take that off in a second. I just wanted to put that. Thank you. All righty. So let me actually just take that off now. Let's see if I can do this. Hide. All right, good. Whew. All right, so we are, each month we do a project using either the same theme or the same product or same color combination. And I don't know what Anne's making. She doesn't know what I'm making, and it's kind of fun. So, oh, Heather's from the town next to me. Hi, Heather. We are using, let me just make my screen big for a second, Anne. We are using this bundle, the Beach Day bundle. So Anne and I both live near a beach. Anne lives a little closer. I live 7 miles, and I think she lives 1 mile from the beach, but we both live near a beach. So we thought this would be a fun set to create with. So this is what we're both using. And let me just, there we go. So yeah, so Anne is going to start off, right?
Do your project of first? Course I am. I do want to just let everybody know that I've forgotten what I was going. What was I going to let everyone know? There's a delay. Well, I'm sorry. It's been a busy week. There's a delay between when you write a comment on StreamYard, which is the technology that we're using, and sometimes that technology, that delay can be up to 2 minutes. So if we're not talking back or you ask a question, don't worry. It takes us that long for it to show up on our monitor. Now, one of the things that I did want to show you is, Christine, I got some online exclusives.
Do you want, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Do you want your desktop shown or do you want your
desktop,
shown?
Please?
Okay. Here we go. We have some more people. Sorry.
I got some online exclusives and I got the zinnia, flowering zinnias paper. Now I use this on my Facebook Live on Wednesday. I'm really showing you the paper here because it is stunning. And this was the quickest way to actually show the cards. So this is the paper. These flowers aren't stamped. They're fussy cut from the paper. Look at this gorgeous paper.
And can you raise it up closer to your camera? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'll show you this one then. I'm not sure I should show you my fussy cutting online.
I can't wait. You can see
how gorgeous that is. I got some more. And this is I was showing different ways that you can use the Designer Series paper. So this is the stamp set that coordinates with it. This is the paper from like the reverse side of some of those nice papers, fancy papers is what I should have said.
Yeah.
So they have plainer paper patterns on the other side. And this one is another alternative, and I've just stamped on it to step it up a little bit to show that even if you have some in a paper pack that aren't your favorite, it is really useful. There's lots of different ways that you can use it. Now, our online exclusives are not in catalogs. They can be found by going to Christine or mine online shop, and there's a little menu that you can click. It says online exclusives, and it will take you straight to online exclusives, and it includes all of our kits as well. So there's so much new stuff coming out on the 5th of March. So that's the day to have a look. And that's flowering zinnia paper will be available, as well as the whole suite will be available on the 5th of March, as well as a lot of other really cool products that aren't in the catalogue. So I'm really excited to have a play.
I'm glad you said the date, because I thought it was tomorrow. It went on.
5th of March.
Thank you. All right, we have more people on here. Nola's here, Sharon's here.
Thank
I know
you.
these are all your girls. Julie's
Yes.
here, and Kirsty is here. These are
Now,
all your girls.
Christine, I do want to say, because we've now got 2 from Gagango, so I just want you to picture, I don't know how many people are in Gagango, I can't remember, but I'm going to say 30, 40 people. So, of course, my maths is appalling. 2 out of 40. Come on.
That's really.
It's a fair few. If you can get half of Norwell, yes, Gagango is taking over the live stream. Rightio. I'm going to share my project.
14 houses, Sharon says.
Sorry, 14 houses. See, I exaggerated when I said 18, didn't I? But I was pretty close. Rightio. So my project, you nearly saw it. My project is, I've kept it to a single card. So,
ooh, I like it.
So,
and I love it. And it's so different than mine, which is awesome.
Oh, well, that's always good. And this is the envelope that I've decorated. And as you see, and if you had been following my page, I've lost the bird dies, well, the bird die and the stamp set twice already. So I actually attacked this with a flock of seagulls, and perhaps we won't do as many today. So let's get started, because let's get crafting. So I've got a lot of things cut out to save a bit of time, but I'm going to bring over a little piece from my glass mat. I'm back using my glass mat. So I'm using my glass mat to store some of the dies that I may or may not be using. And I say that because I've die cut some of them. And it was a good way to separate some of the dies that I've already cut out. So I'm just going to leave it over here. I like this. Oh, I've got a, you know me and my OCD had standing up upside down. So we better turn that around. And I'm sorry about the light here. I'll see if I can put that there, if that helps a little bit. But I may have to shift it because I need my entire glass mat here. So let's get going. I've got a basic white card base, which is hopefully, it's looking a little less than what it should, which is why that's because it's not the right size. That's what happens when you pick up something from the desk, thinking it's going to be right. Lucky I can pick that something is not right. So that's easy. I've got lots of basic white cardstock, thank heavens. So I'm just going to cut another piece, which will be 5.5 inches. It's sometimes good for everybody to see how we cut. So that was just an A4 sheet. Yours is slightly different size than mine. So mine is 8.25. US will be 8.5 inches wide. Hardly makes any difference to this. So I'm just going to fold it into half. This looks a little more like it. Sometimes I score, but not now. I know. So there's my card base. I'm going to put that away. And, you know, really, how can you lose something and you've hardly even shifted a thing?
As you're looking for that, I wanted to mention that Nancy has joined us, and it is Nancy's birthday today. So happy birthday, Nancy, who is a leap year birthday girl. So she is, I think she's put it online, so I think I can say she's 18 years old. She's a legal adult now. So happy birthday, Nancy. I'm so glad you're joining us live.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Nancy. How good is that? That's, oh, fancy being born on a leap year. Audio. So this is my card base that I'm using here. So I'm going to show you how I've done the shading, and then I'll add the dies. Now, what I have done is I've pre-cut as much as I possibly can. So I've got some of our masking paper, which comes from the annual catalogue. It comes in a little pack like this. I've labelled it because I've got so many packets that look something similar to this. And it's just Stampin' Up masking paper. And because it's a little hard to find in the annual catalogue, I'll give you the code 155480. It is great. Now, I've been using some other low-tack tape and that, or post-it notes, because I kept, well, to be honest, I lost this. That's what really happened. Comes with a protective base on the back. I peel that off. Now, what I always do, hopefully this is the same size. I can't get my head in the way. But I peel off one. It comes in strips, the protective back. So I just do this to make it easier so it doesn't stick where I don't want it to. This is not, says Anne, but it does pick up. So I can relay it if I have to.
I always forget about my masking paper, so this is great.
Well, I don't know. I've got this, I'm making tough work of this. Don't worry about that it's not lined up perfectly because I didn't put it at the bottom. I just need this circle. That's what I'm trying to work on. So I'm using 3 ink colours in order. I'm going to be using Lemon Lime Twist, so nice bright colours, Pumpkin Pie and Poppy Parade. At the moment, I'm going through a rechange of my colours, and I'm going really, really bright. So these are my colours, but I'm going to keep them fairly pale because, as you see, my card here is pale. I need this little area here because I'm going to be using my blending brushes, and you'll see how I do that. Now, I use the Stylish Shapes to cut out the circle. Doesn't matter that it's got the little hole here, it never goes through that. But I'm going to keep this for something. Well, I did use it for something else in my original project, but actually I may not this time. So I'm getting my blending brushes. Now, don't worry about which size I'm using. For me, I just press really gently. I don't want to add any more because I've got a fair bit of ink on here, and the more ink on here, I've got to clean off. And while I'm blending, Christine, I'm going to pick your brain of how you clean your blending brushes because I've been using mine lots lately. So whilst I do this, I'm not pressing hard, and I've put it on here so I don't get those ugly marks on it. I'm just picking it up here. I can spread it out if I get the ugly marks, and it should go on nice and smooth. I'm not pressing hard.
All right. So as I answer your question,
yes?
I'm gonna throw a question back at you.
Oh bugger! I mean, oh darn! Did I really say that? That was, of course you can, Christine. I look forward to it.
Oh, you can think about your answer, but what if someone does not have a glass mat?
Oh,
what would they do? But you can think about that. I'll answer your question first. Your question was, how do I clean my blending brushes? I use soap and water. So I just bring them to the sink, and I use, we have Dawn dishwashing, and I actually use the blue Dawn because I think it does a better job. There's different colors. And I figure it's safe because they use that Blue Dawn whenever there's like oil spills and they like watch the ducks. They do that on the commercials. But it
Blue
actually,
Dawn.
Blue Dawn.
Rightio.
And as another side bit, that's the Blue Dawn is what takes the pit stains out of a white softball uniform. So anyways, that's why
But it's safe to use on ducks.
safe to use on ducks.
Anyway.
So I use Blue Dawn in water and just rub it together in bubbles and just underwater. And then I will soak them in a glass of Blue Dawn in water for a bit. And then just keep repeating until the color mostly comes out. Do you have a better way of washing?
I have a better way? I'm not sure about a better way. But what I have discovered by mistake is that this here, like some of this will wash out on top, but it does stain. But any of the ink around here that you see will actually still need rinsing out. So what I now do is I rinse it under running water. I haven't found a difference between soap and just water, so I've gone for water just to be on the careful side. But I then turn it upside down on a paper towel or a scrappy towel. And what happens is it draws, that towel or paper will draw out the ink from in here. And there's quite a fair bit of ink in there. And it takes probably about 4 rinses. And I will leave it overnight. It'll go in like this, so it's quite clean. When I come back the next morning, this is all every color I've ever used in that blending brush. So I then rinse it.
So it's a little wicking that's happening.
It does, yeah, it sucks it out.
So here's another question. When you lay it flat face down on your paper towel, that doesn't
flatten it. No.
Okay, because I had mine against a glass of water and it did kind of flatten my brushes. So that is a better.
It's on a towel. Look, they're quite stiff, to be honest.
Yes.
Because I'd seen you when you'd had that discussion, and I kind of went, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. To be honest, mine rolled over, and that's how I knew the difference between the ones that I left standing up, facing up like this, to the one had rolled over, and I could see the difference of what had actually happened to it.
Yes.
Now, you also asked me if I didn't have a glass mat, what I would use. Now, I've got because glass mats are no longer available. We're hoping that they're coming back, but we're not that sure. I can actually do it on my trimmer. I could use it on my old Stamparatus plates. I could use it. I'm just trying to think. There was something else.
A dinner plate?
Anything. I think shiny.
Glass.
The other thing that you could use, which I think is absolutely perfect, probably the best out of all of them, is your really large block. And I can't remember the code for the large block.
Oh yes.
The full size, the one that's this size. It would be perfect for this. So there are other things. I love using the glass mat because it has made my blending backgrounds so much nicer. Now,
I have not done mine yet, so that's great. I will be doing that from now on.
So whilst I'm doing this, I've got I do have another. Here it is. I'm also going to show you how I did my envelope because I want to clean up my desk. So I need a little space for my square label whenever I send out anything. I'm just guessing the size of my label. Now I could handwrite it on as well because I think once I leave this space, it looks so much nicer. Now this takes 5 seconds, to be honest. I know I talk about not doing naked envelopes, and I apologise to those who got cards from me this week because guess what? They were naked. But that's okay. We can only do the best we can.
It's a busy week for you.
It was a busy week. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going back to Lemon Lime Twist. It's an envelope. I'm not going to spend hours on it. I just want to show you how easy this is. I'm just using up the rest of the ink. If I need any more, I can rub it over there, put it back on here. You can see once it says end, once I use the glass mat, it does smooth out a little bit. Now I've got a fair bit of ink on here. So this is my pumpkin pie. You can see this is not, I'm just doing this quick, but it still works and it'll still come out looking pretty. Now, then I've got my poppy parade, which is sitting here. I'm not pressing hard. It might sound like I am. I'm just going over so there's no clear line. I might even come down all the way down here. Every one of these will turn out differently. Now, I'll take that off in a second, but I've got the inside of my card. Hopefully this is the right one. I just want to add a little bit of shading there. And I think I'm going to do lemon lime twist because it's kind of the colour that and you'll see why I'm doing that later. But I thought it was so much easier to do this all at one time. I've done that fairly quick. I can get rid of these because, as we all know, so Sharon doesn't wash hers. She might have a few more than me, but I certainly do wash mine. Now, I'm just going to you could use the cleaning cloth that comes with this, clean your block or whatever. Because I want to use this again, we're not doing any more blending, but I want to use the space. So to dry it off really quickly, I just do that. And I'll peel this off. I've got a little bird here, which I stole from another, which I can't even find. What's happening with the birds on my desk today?
They're flying away.
They are flying away. So we're going to have to use the one that comes here, but this time there's not going to be a flock. Let's keep it subtle. So I'm just using Memento Black. Oh, now you're going to see what I do here. Clear stamp, I can line this up. I like how I say that, don't you, with confidence? See, look at that. You can line them up. That's where photopolymer stamps are so good. So we're just going to...
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
You do. You can always laugh when it's not you.
Yep.
So I actually had to, normally I don't re-ink, but I'd obviously missed a bit. Let's see if I can get all of them right. Oops, I've done pretty well. So I'm going to peel this off. It is only an envelope. I'll peel this off and you can see, just have to do this gently because I have rubbed it in fairly tight. As I use the blenders across it, it's stuck well and truly. So there's the envelope.
I love it.
Super cute. We'll put that out of the way. Let's get started on the card. I've cleaned up my desk. I can get rid of that for the moment. Let's get rid of everything. Let's get started. And I've got a fair bit already done. So the first thing I'm going to do, because it's the frame of this, I'm going to add the palm tree. They have two die cuts. You do have to have a little play, otherwise they look like propellers. We don't want them to look like propellers. But the way I've now I could have popped these up, and I could have used the foam adhesive sheets, but I like these flat. I like the whole thing flat, to be honest. So I'm just going to add some multi-purpose glue, not too much, hopefully. And the way I did it, sorry, go.
I was just going to say, sorry. I never even thought about using this as a silhouette. I love it.
Well, I've got this, you go through stages when you're crafting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the silhouette stage
Okay.
and blending stage. And whilst I love this set, and truly it was about the first one to go in my now remember, I don't want it to be a propeller, so it does get a little, you've got to fiddle with it a little bit. Normally I would play with it, but we haven't got time for that. Oops, that's making it a propeller once I put it like that. And
I think
don't
my
want
tree
any
might look like a propeller.
Oh, oops.
That's all right. I learned something.
Maybe I needed just a little bit more glue down there. Oh yeah, haven't seen your project, so it was absolutely no conversation about yours. And maybe I say that because mine was going to turn into a propeller, and I tried very hard to stop that. So that comes with these little grass die cuts, which what I'm doing is trying to hide that the tree. I don't want it to hang ungrounded, so I add the little grass things just to give it a bit of I only do the main bits. I'm not going to do all those squizzy little bits. It sticks once I do that. Then I'm going to do my surfboards, which I have die cut out. I was going to do some die cutting, but I think I'm going to actually get away with doing no die cutting. So I've got my two surfboards. This one I cut out of the rock and roll paper. So it comes up. I think it's really gorgeous.
It's
this
really
one
cool.
I'm going to shade because it was really hard. I started with some lime green. There's about 30 surfboards, I'll show you, that were thrown away as I tried to work out what works. None of those did. So I'm going to keep it fairly subtle. My shading is going to be exactly the same as my background, but I'm going to reverse it. So the red's going to be at the bottom and the lime green's going to be at the top. And you know how I said I was finished with shading? I'm obviously not. But anyway, let's get going. Hopefully there's enough on here. Add a bit of colour.
I think that's a wise choice to do the shading because it's like the sun reflecting off of, say, a white surfboard.
So you mean desperation on trying to make a first surfboard fit in? I could have
I
respun
really
that.
like it.
I could have respun that to
Yeah.
something that made it look like it wasn't out of control, this process. Anyway, so now there's probably another little tip here. To be honest, these surfboards are mighty big. I like this one on top. They're a little big and they're going to squeeze through my little grass bits. So I'm going to just trim the bottom of them to make them fit a little better. Not a lot of. And it's not fussy cutting, it's just snipping off. These are my bee scissors. Aren't they cute?
They are
Sorry.
cute.
They do make a bit of a noise though. So this way, they're not as...
They're more proportional.
Yeah, they're not as big. They're not giant surfboards. Now I'm not popping anything up. And it's really quite an easy card. And the way what I would describe this card as building a scene. So there's so many of our stamp sets that we can use to build scenes, especially now that we have blending brushes. And how am I going to put this? Maybe I'll slide that over. No, we won't slide that over. Now this messy bit here, this is what the grass is here for. It means, which is the right size. There's always the right size to...
Nola says, gorgeous card, Anne, and I agree. I love it.
Oh, thank you, Noah, and thank you, Christine. I have to say, Christine knows this this wasn't one of my easiest flow cards. And if I might show you if I get a bit of time at the very end while you're setting up. Now I've got a little deck chair. Now these all are stamped and die cut. So I've got a little deck chair here, and I love my deck chair, and I did him in Old Olive. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see the texture on him, but I popped him up. It's the only thing popped up, but I've done him lime green, and I tried. This is another deck chair that hit the deck. Pun. Sorry, very very slack joke.
Very funny.
Yeah, very funny. So, and I'll show you because I've got actual stripes on that, which you may just be able to see because it was a little plain. So I use my light lemon lime twist first. Let's put it on the black because you're never going to see if it goes through on the black, and then you can see me work on it. It's only little and tiny. I'm just using the fine tip. Then I've got to do the front of the seat. Now, for those that follow me know that I am not an artist in any way, shape or form. So, but I do know that under the back here, this is my dark one, there will be a little bit of a shadow where it goes underneath the seat, and I put a little bit of shadow there. So at the moment, I'll just show you what this looks like. Oh, and I'll put a little bit up there. As I say, I'm no artist. I'll show you what this looks like up close. So you can see at the moment, yeah, it's not that special. But then I'll just go over and blend it again to get rid of those lines, to blend it in. And then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm just going to put those fine lines, which you can actually see in person. It just adds that little bit of texture.
That's a great idea.
It's soaking in just a bit much. I might have to come back. But so I've now got lines. So my little seat is going to fit down there. He's squished in a little bit more on this one. Oh no, we'll slide him over. That's better. I'm going to pop him up with one of these dimensionals. Where's mine? Take a pick tool, the one that I've had to do surgery on. Tells you they're tough when I stand on them, but they're still going. And it's funny, this is the one I reach for. I do have a perfectly good one over there, but this is the one that I always reach for. Pop this up. This up. Whoop. So I'm putting them down a little lower. What I've worked out is I need the top of the deck chair to be straight, and then everything else looks after itself. Oops, I want this over here. Oh, didn't take the paper off him. There we go. I've got a little bird that sits on top. This is the one that escaped, so I decided to stamp him first. I need just the smallest piece, so I'm going to actually, can't even use a mini. I'm cutting down a little bit from the strip. He's going to pop up there. This is one of those cards you probably don't make 100 of them, but you make when you want to have some fun card making. This is the fun one. You can make cards that just aren't fun. They're just getting cards done. This is the card to have when you're doing fun. I'm going to add one little bird. This was the escapee. So
I think
this
card, it comes alive with each step you do. It really comes alive.
Yeah, I like this. So I've now just got to add the sentiment. So
you're pretty daring to do the words last.
We'll see whether it was a good decision or not. Sometimes these are not good decisions, and sometimes they are. It's daring, but I suppose that's why you have another piece of paper that I can pop up because I
Right.
will change my mind about how the design should be. So this says, and I really love it, wishing you a beautiful day. I want it straight on my grid. Christine would have this at a great angle and I'd be panicking by now. But anyway.
Not with a skinny. You'll see.
Oh,
Actually,
you wouldn't. Oh,
I'm not with these blocks. I'm using the
right.
same block. So
So now I can put this card together. Where's my base? That's not it. That's over here. And you can see how it will come alive with that black contrast. Tiny little bit. I didn't want too much because I still want it to be nice and bright. Hopefully I've cut these layers correctly.
yep, looks good to me.
Yep. Now I haven't popped this up because for me, this is one of those cards. Whilst I like texture, it's got enough on it and I like to keep it. It's just got a little frame. It's not like popped up to make it look special. Now, on the inside of this card, I used a circle and I did a little bit of blending around it. So it was like a star sending sunshine, a sun,
The sun.
sending sunshine your way. This one, I'm just going to give you an alternative. I've got an umbrella and a beach ball. And I'm
So
going to
Sharon says fabulous. Jan says great card for my husband's birthday.
Oh, good. Now, this has to sit, don't you like this? Has to sit at a bit of an angle. It looks a bit funny. It's not at an angle. So you're seeing a little bit of, whoops. And the ball, just got to be careful because you know what happened with that bird. You've got to rock it a little bit. So there you go. Now, I've got 1 sentiment left, which says sending sunshine your way, which matches this card perfectly. And the project is finished.
I love it.
I will show you the envelope, which you needed an envelope because it just, you get an idea what's going to be on the inside. And there's your card. And kept this card insert, or the message on the inside, really simple because the front has got a fair bit happening on it. Got lots of little pieces. So, Christine, hand over to you.
All right. Anne, I love your card.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So here is my desktop. So this is a stamp set again. And so my favorite part of this stamp set are the words. Even if it didn't have any of the fun pictures, I would still get it because I just love the words. So I've used the words tons, but I'm going to use the images. So Anne and I discussed, I forget if we said it earlier or not. So this lifeguard station, they does not look like these in Australia, and they do not look like these where I'm from. I think this is a California-based lifeguard station. So we had agreed ahead of time not to use that for that reason. So I am also using the surfboard and the birds. All right. And so I'll just show you what the dies look like. So these are the dies. I put some, because these long ones, they kind of, after you use them for a while, they warp's not the right word, they bend. So I'm just using painter's tape to keep them in. And I also attached my surfboard because I didn't want to lose it in this little bird specifically. All right, so those are the dies. So actually, I'm going to use this wave dies. This one, I think that's the only one. I need a pre-cut thing. So, okay, so when I was making the card up, this is the first card that I came up with. I'm not quite making this one.
I like it.
I do too, but I like the other ones better. But this is a simpler. I'm going to show you how I did the waves, but I just want to show you that that's where my brain started first. And then my brain moved to this one. Similar, I'll put them both together. Similar, the waves are the same. I use the cloud paper from the Sunny Days Celebration paper,
Yep.
which for the US based people, you can still get it tonight. Tonight's the last night. And then I just added a surfboard and added some birds. So I went from this one to this one to the next one, which is this one I'm going to make, and I'm going to make a second card. I made this one. So does my palm tree look like a propeller?
Of course not, Christine. No, it doesn't. It's perfect. I think it's
the,
better than mine.
the coconuts help it out.
Oh, they're coconuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aren't coconuts from palm trees? I don't have palm
Yes,
trees near me. We have pine trees. Very good.
I love those surfboards in 2 different
Okay.
colors.
Yes, I'm going to
They're
show you how to do
amazing.
that. Okay. So I've done some of the work. Let me, actually, I'm going to show you how I made the waves first. I'm going to cut one. I cut some. So I'm going to use, this is the waves die. It's quite long. And I'm going to use my mini machine because it fits in there. All right. So I think I've showed this before, but if you have a mini machine, they're not all made the same, or I shouldn't say it that way, but the sandwiches are not always made the same. So even though it tells you on the plates, sometimes it's not quite the right sandwich. So I actually wrote with a paint marker. So if I want to cut something, I use this gray one and then 2 plain ones. Here it is. I have it on this side. So it just helps me know what to use, and it works so much better than if I use the other plate it said to do. So just play with your mini machines if you have one, because it really does make a difference. All right, so I'm going to put this right in the middle, and this is a 1-inch strip of Misty Moonlight. The washi tape, it's probably not going to stick anymore. It was kind of sticking, but it kind of bows. So just be careful when you just want it to stay fairly straight. Put that on there.
And there's nothing wrong when your plates bow. That's just from
Oh
use.
yeah. It's actually the die that bowed, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's because it's long. All right, so I'm going to use both pieces. It cuts. You get this piece and you get this piece. I'm actually going to use it this way. So I'm going to use both pieces. These things are going to take out. So I want you to see like the holes.
Oh, so that little piece, see, I didn't use mine. So that little piece pops out.
This little piece does.
Oh,
of course.
That's awesome. Now, welcome Carolyn from Tennessee. It's her first time watching.
Oh, hello and welcome. We love first timers. We like second timers and third timers too.
And hello to Jan, Kirsty. Who else are we missing? I think we've got everybody else.
All right. Yeah. So these little bits here come out. So you get the opening like that.
I love that.
Yeah, mine was cut actually a little bit crooked, but it should be fine. And I already cut 2 more, but I didn't take out the things. Let's poke them out. Yeah, I like the sand. I don't think I brought it up. I have the die, but the cutout, just say I was a little disappointed with the sand cutout because it left a mark. So you almost have to use it on the reverse side of what you cut it, because I'll see if I have a scrap piece of paper that I can show you. But it left an edge mark, which you wouldn't really have in the sand, but this one just cuts out. These were popping out really easy to me the other day, but of course on live they don't. Okay, so I have these pieces, they all kind of line up like that. And actually, yeah, I only need 3. Okay, so you only need 3. Here's the card. So I decided to use crumb cake as my base. The first card I use lemon lolly. I figured with the sun and the sky and the waves. But this one I use crumb cake kind of. I was thinking of sand. So that's just a standard card base. And then I have Pool Party. And I don't know if you can see, I embossed it. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. I embossed it with, remember, I think it was the last slide where I said I didn't have that one, so I bought it. It's the brick one.
It works for everybody.
I called my demonstrator and just ordered it. So that's, even though brick obviously have nothing to do with water, I didn't really have anything else, but I just figured it was kind of a artsy image. So that's what I used. So I already embossed this. And this is just a standard 4 by 5.25. Actually, no, it's not. It's a smidge smaller. It's an 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. I like your idea of putting here. I can do this. I never use this little thing, but what a great idea to put your pieces in there. Look at that.
See, we learn. I learn lots from you, as you know, and
I
nice
learn lots from you.
Yeah, because we do things differently,
Right.
and that's. I mean, and I notice all my customers. Some have been trained by Anne and do the Anne thing, but others, you know, have learnt card making from other people or taught themselves, and
Right.
they have different ways, and I've learnt lots from them.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do is basically, oh, actually, I want my, where is it? My silicone mat. How is it not up here? Okay. Well, I would use a silicone mat because I'm going to end up getting glue everywhere. I must have brought it downstairs. Can I use this? Let's use this. There we go. Because I cut my strips longer than what I needed, and you'll see why. So I'm just going to put glue on them. This one I'm going to go right to the edge of my Pool Party. A little bumpy because of this thing, but that's okay. And then I'm going to line this up with the waves. So I'm just going to, and I'm only going to really put glue on the straight part, not the waves, because, not really for this card, but for the other cards, like I tucked in the surfboard, and so that lets you tuck them in. And I'm just going to make a little border or opening, because I like how you can kind of see through.
I love, that's the bit that I absolutely love.
Oh, good.
Is
So I'm just going to repeat it, and I'm going to put just a same kind of width. Oh, hold on. Nope. I'm going to save that piece for a second. So I'm going to do the straight edge. I'm going to have these all going in the same direction. My next card, I'm going to actually alternate them just to show you the difference. All right, so I have a little bit there, and then I'm going to, there we go, line that up there. And again, these strips were 1 inch wide. Now, when the spaces between them, they actually are a little bit bigger. And then this is the third one. Those spaces
are the bit that make it.
Yeah, I agree. And then what I'm going to do on this last one, rather than just put this straight down like that, which I could, but I'm going to cut off. I'm going to separate these.
So they got little tags that keep them held together when you die cut them.
So I'm just going to cut it off. This top piece I'm just going to throw away. And so then I have this, there we go, this piece, nope, it was the right way. There we go, it lines up with the waves there. All right. and then I'm going to let it dry. This is where my patience doesn't, I always cut it too fast. So now I'm going to take my paper trimmer. Normally
Why
I
do
let
you
it dry a
Sorry.
little bit because I'm going to
So
trim
why?
it.
Why though?
So that,
What
well,
happens if you don't?
because you
I
see this,
know, because I showed you some before.
do you see this wet glue? It's gonna stick to my cutter. Let's watch. Okay.
Well, because I started with a design that had stripes as well, different sorts, and I cut it with a trimmer as well very early in the piece.
But actually, I'm going to show you something to fix it. All right. So I turned it upside down. You can cut it this way, but I find it easier to do it on the back side because I can line up this edge with my cutting blades right here. And I'm just going to cut them off and see how they stick. Because the glue's tacky.
See, I would have answered that a little different, not because you're not right, but I would have said I've ripped the page. You know what I mean? Because the glue's wet the paper, it's actually ripped it as well.
All right, so I'm going to line this one up, cut that side. And so what I discovered, I have my cutter is very gluey, right? Because I had all that glue stuck to it. So I have learned from Anne on past demonstrations, if you use rubbing alcohol, hand sanitizer, and you can see I've already cleaned my other cutter. If you just put a little rubbing alcohol on there, not rubbing alcohol, hand sanitizer, you can get all the sticky stuff off. And it just cleans up your cutter. So it's okay if you do it while the glue's wet. All right, I'll do a better job at that later, but I just want to show you that it will stick, but you can get the glue off. All right. And so these actually are up. So now you can glue those down. I forgot these ones, I'm not sticking the surfboards in them. So you just put a little stick down. Oops. I'm usually a patient person, but not when it comes to making things stick while I'm on live. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I thought it looked better when I put a teeny tiny border, just like Anne did with her black border. I'm just using Misty Moonlight because it cleans up this edge versus if I just put this edge on the card base. It looks fine, but I think it really it just cleans
Pops
it up
it.
when you,
Well, I say for me, I consider that like makes it pop up.
Yeah,
which makes it
yours pops up
lot
because
more
there's a little
dramatic.
bit more of a contrast versus this one because it's the same color. I think it just cleans up the edge. Oh, that does make it pop on the top. I'm going to turn it upside down and press it. All right. Of course it moved. Okay. So then I'm not going to put it on yet because I'm going to actually tie some linen thread on there. So let me show you what I did with the surfboards. Let me show you when I can find my pieces. All right. So I already stamped it with the, actually, I have it. Oh, no, I'm just going to go with that. I stamped it with the white, here's the surfboard stamp, and cut it out with a die. And then we're going to, here we go, here's another one. I have 3 colors. So I have Calypso Coral, Lemon Lolly, and Coastal Cabana. And I'm using StazOn Black. I know Anne used her Memento. I find that the StazOn Black is a darker, more crisper. I also keep mine pretty well re-inked because I like it crisp and dark.
The only reason I don't use StazOn, because I agree, I think it on most projects, it does do a crisper black, but cleaning it up is why I don't use
Oh,
it.
I just leave just a permanently black. Like
Ah,
I just leave my
I'm not, and that's a good solution too.
Are you speechless?
Yeah, I am. Like I'm just, being still my beating heart. I'm the one who's.
I wash them, but if it's stained, it doesn't bother me.
It
All
doesn't
right.
come through. I agree.
So I am just cutting half. And I'm cutting
And you've
it
got
actually.
you've got us on all four again on the screen.
Yeah, my computer's been doing that. And I don't know why.
You caught me standing up. I think you just did that to catch me trying to pack up.
I'm not even looking at the screen. But mine's been doing that to me too, and I don't know why. All right. So I just cut half of the surfboard out, and then I will cut, let's see, the other half. And I'm cutting right on the black. A lot of times when I cut, I actually leave a border around, but this one I don't want to. I cut right on the black, and you'll see when we put it onto that white surfboard, it will keep that black border. And you may ask, why don't you just just put one color on top of another solid color? But I like the white around, where did it go? I like the white around it on this one because then it would just be lopsided if it was like, say, all one color. And
now,
then
Sharon,
you might ask.
Oh, sorry. Sharon asked, because you might answer this or you may have answered it. This is 5 minutes ago, so I'm not sure what it applies to. Why don't you just use your snips? Sharon, can you clarify what that question was?
Thanks. All right, so
I thought it was for here, but it isn't.
Yeah, I just put glue on the white, and then I'm just adding the colored part onto the white. And so by doing that, by keeping the white surfboard, you still get that black border, the black, that black line.
Yep.
All right.
I was going to showcase this technique as well. So lucky I had a bit of a change up at the end.
But that's right. I think it's fun when we do the same thing. So you may ask, why don't you just color it instead of cutting? And so this, I don't know if it's going to show. This one I colored the same colors, but it's not as vibrant.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it shows or not, but
it's
so you certainly could color it, but I think it's a truer color with the paper. All right, so I've already done some other surfboards, but that's how I did them. Because then they
are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. All right, so that is that. Let's put that on there.
Can I ask you a question, Christine?
Nope.
A non-crafting question.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh,
what do you do with surfboards on your beach?
What do we do with them on our beach? You surf in the water.
How? She got it.
So our waves are kind of on the smaller
side. She's kidding with those waves in that picture. That's all I'll say to those who follow me, because she's built them up a bit to make them a bit bigger than they really are.
Well, unless it's stormy. Yes, I have not.
Sorry,
I have not seen Australian waves yet, but my guess is they're much larger than the northeast section of the United States.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a very cruel and mean thing to say. But she did take me to her surf beach, and I did laugh slightly.
Yes, you did. Yeah. All right. So I just wrapped linen thread around there twice, and so now I can put that directly on my card. I'm going to try to think of something cheeky to get you back.
There's plenty. You'll have to come out and see ours, see?
I would love to. I would love to. All right. So that goes on, and I think it looks quite pretty just like that. All right, so I cut out 2 just in case, but these little trees are trunks, and I did garden green. So I'm just gonna put this on flat, just like Anne did. Wow. My tweezers. My tweezers to hold on to them. All right, so this is gonna go, it's gonna be floating in the water just for a moment. All right. And then I put one flat. Let's see if I can make them so that they're not propellers.
I regret saying that comment now.
No, I struggled with them actually. So you did one that way. And I put a dimensional.
I like the dimensional on yours.
Yeah, I'm running low on dimensionals up here. Remember to bring up a new pack.
Nola says, enjoy listening to you both. It is fun.
Good. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay. There we go. So then I'm going to put my surfboard. So let's see, I want to make sure I have the different colors. I don't want 2 colors together. So I'm going to do, what did I do? I did one flat and one up. We actually, I'm glad you guys like us together laughing, because we have a treat for you coming up in a little while. That's a teaser.
Well, while you're doing this little bit, I'll take it one more step. Only one more step. Christina and I are going to get together in April, and we're going to be in person with each other.
We're live in person.
Yeah, we're not saying where we're coming from yet, but we're going to catch up again. But this time we won't have any crafting stuff. So it's not in Boston and it's not on the Sunshine Coast. That's what you can guarantee. But we thought it was a great opportunity for you to ask any questions. And they can be questions of us, like anything about being a demonstrator. It could be what we like doing, what our favourite products are, could be anything.
What's your favorite Trader Joe's product?
Or and for the Australians who don't know what Trader Joe's is, I can't really, we've got no equivalent. It might be like a really stepped up IGA that has all these products that I've never seen anywhere else, and they're all tasty and delicious. Not necessarily saying they're good for me. Some are. There's lots of fruit and veggies. Yeah. There's lots of fruit and veggies and delicious stuff, but the stuff that I like when I was there were the treats, and they were amazing. So any questions you like, and you can even ask what we're doing where we are, because it's going to be a surprise location. I have to travel a long way. Christine has to travel a long way, so it will be interesting. So start sending your questions in. Send, if you're in the States, send Christine your questions, and we'll send lots of reminders out beforehand. And if you're one of my community, send the questions to me. So Lynette has just joined us. Candy Atkinson has just joined us. I'm not sure. Lynette's from Melbourne, Australia.
Candy's from West Virginia.
Oh, we'll see.
And Candy, I'm so happy you're live. She always says, I'm so sorry. I got the weird replay. All right. So what I'm doing is, I think you probably saw, I just put that stuff on, and I used my foam strips, but I did too much because I want it to be raised here, but if it would be too high up. So I just did the foam strips on half of it, and I'm going to put a little glue because this surfboard is popped up, and so then it will end up being equal.
That was a really good explanation.
Was it really?
No, it was. Well, I tried to explain the same thing on Wednesday night, and I
Oh,
thought
okay.
I have never explained, like when you've got different levels, how to keep it the same levels. And that's one of those card making tricks that make your cards
Yeah.
look good. You know, like
So it's
if
not
there's,
lopsided.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
I
So
love that card. I love that
hold on.
die
I'm
too.
not done.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry. Oh,
not
that's right.
done. My
You've got some.
coconuts.
Yeah. So what are you using for coconuts?
So you can use either, these are in the annual catalog. I don't know what they're called, but they're, I think, unless they're in the holiday catalog, I don't know. They're kind of a brownish, black, and silver. I think it's supposed to
Yep.
be gold, but it looks brown.
Yep.
It's glitter. You can kind of see that the
All right.
glitter.
Yep.
Or these are new. They also have the
And they're free with celebration, even better.
these ones are? No.
Oh, aren't
These,
they? They're not.
oh,
Oh, I'm getting them
these
confused.
I couldn't find the daisy ones because those are like yellow, blue, and brown. I have them. I don't know where they are, but these are the new coffee ones. These
No
go with
wonder they're not in my house.
the new coffee paper, which is fun. So I thought we'll make one glittery and one not glittery. I lost my tweezers. So I figured 3 coconuts, right? Because we do things in threes. I first had them separated, and it looks much better when they're kind of together. I don't know if coconuts grow that way because, like I said, I don't have palm trees.
Yeah.
And then for the inside,
I'm just
let
looking.
me just show you because I'm going to show you another card because so that we're not on
Yep.
forever. The inside, I just did again. I love the words. Have a beautiful day. Like it's just beautiful, and I put a little sandcastle. This one I'll probably put on the extra surfboard in there. All right, but let me show you my last card, which is similar-ish. Well, kind of. I do the waves. All right, let me get all my pieces here. I've already cut everything. You ready? Oh, did I forget? Oh, well, nope, I didn't have birds on this one. Okay. Here's my other one.
I love. Oh, this. Oh, you are kidding about those waves trying to put those birds swimming upside down. That's all I'll say.
All right, so let me show you this. It's similar but different. All right, so what I used is I love square cards. So I decided to make it a square card. So that's just a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And let me move that one over. And then this is 4 by 4. And then my pool party is, so you see how I have it two-toned? I have the pool party under the water, but then I have this kind of sunset clouds. So my pool party is 3 7/8 by 2 1/8. And I'll show you how I came up with that. And then this paper is from the hot air balloon, the lighter than air. So I use that. So I'm just going to cut this 1/8 of an inch smaller than 4 by 4. So that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So we have that, and that's where I got the 3 7/8 here. So that's going to kind of go on top like that. But first we're going to put on our waves. So this waves, oh, I didn't take out these things, sorry. I'll take them out quick. I'm going to alter them. So can you see the difference? It's also a little smaller, but this waves is kind of going up and this wave's going down and this wave's going up. So I alternated them.
Yep.
And I also made, the other one was 1 inch by 1 inch thick. This one is 3/4 inches thick. I actually like the 3/4 inches thick, but I thought it would be a little bit busy on that other one because I had kind of the palm trees and all that stuff. So you can kind of play with your thickness. I'm so sorry. I need to take
I'm not sure what to say about that. Playing with your thickness. I'm just going to let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
However, Kirsty says, Love the waves.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I thought they're kind of fun.
Oh, they're amazing, and I
Yeah.
hadn't used them, so you've blown me away with that.
Oh, good. I originally wanted to do something with a sand, and like I said, I was a little disappointed with the sand because you have it and you have the curved edge, but then you get this mark from the edge, the opposite edge. Um, why isn't this coming up? I can show you.
Sorry, I'm just pulling my dies up because they don't
No, I
look
can
anything
hear you.
like yours. Yeah, they don't look anything like yours.
No,
So
they're nice
I'm
and
not sure
straight.
how to make them work.
You don't know how to make them work.
Mine don't work like yours.
Are your dies really different?
And you're
All right, I need four. I think I needed one, two.
oh,
I only need three.
rightio. I see. Now
You
I've finally
figured it
got it
out?
because I have no spatial capacity, but just in case nobody else does,
Oh, do you want
what
me to
you've
put you on the screen?
yeah, if you don't mind, just
No,
for
because I'm
one
taking these
second.
things out. I'm so.
Rightio.
Oh, there you go.
Rightio. So what Christine has done, I haven't got any. I do have in my bin 1,000 pieces. Just so this is the die, and I couldn't work out how she got like I know she said she cut it 3/4 of an inch, but I couldn't kind of work out because only that's not even 3/4 of an inch how she got that design. So what she's done is I've only got a scrappy piece of paper, but she's put it down there so you get this piece and this piece is curly, this piece is straight, but it cuts across in the middle there. And not all of that's cut through, so it leaves little tabs to hold it together. So now I understand it because what I was trying to do is use this piece in conjunction with that,
Oh no, the
which
other one's a
isn't how it
sand.
works. Yes, I know that now. That's why I was having trouble and I was having a little play. Now, not everybody may have the lack of spatial capacity that I have, and they may have guessed that, but I didn't. So throw back to yours, Christine.
Okay. Uh, Here we go. Okay. So again, I don't have my silicone mat, which I'm very sad about because I always leave it up here, but I'm just going to use the reverse side of my little thing here. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to put the bottom or we'll just call it one edge of the wave or the negative part of the wave, which can be a wave by itself. And then I'm going to put this piece on top. And what I did, which I should have showed you, I had to figure out I needed 2 1/8 this way. I actually laid these out nicely, like how I wanted them, and I measured it with a ruler. All right, so now I'm gonna, rather than put this piece is what I did last time, I'm gonna actually go this way. So you can see, hopefully, that these are going in opposite directions. So this goes in the same direction. I'm just flipping it this way, and I still get a straight edge.
I really like that. I just love the blue
Thank
peeping
you.
through.
Yeah, me too.
That's where the pop comes from.
Yep. So these two colors again are the lighter is the pool party, and then the darker blue is misty moonlight. They look nice together. And then I can put this down here like that.
I now want to
So,
redo my card. Redo a
no,
card. I've got
oh, I
ideas
love
now.
your
I've seen
card. Oh, good.
yours. Yeah, no, you've just
And
given me new ideas. That's
oh,
what I
good.
love about it.
And then because we're oh no, we need to go this direction, right? Yes. Then we're gonna go like this. And then I'm going to put this on top, but I'm going to cut that off like I did the other one. So I don't know if I would make like 20 of these because it takes a little time. someone special, right? Someone who loves the ocean and the beach. All right, so this I'm just going to trim
These are
off.
what I think both our cards today are cards you make when you want to craft, get away from maybe life. You know what I mean? Have some me time and
Yes,
just play and have fun, which is what card making should be. And
and then
these
that fits right
dies
in there.
are
Yep.
fun.
So I'm actually going to put the glue on the blue paper, on the pool party paper for this one, because this is going to be higher than the pool party.
Yep.
And I am going to let this sit and dry for a second. And again, I did the strips longer than what I needed because I'm just going to bring this back to my trimmer to trim. I think to figure out, because you also want some of the waves to be different, not exactly on top of each other, the same. So you need, this is me being impatient. You need the length to kind of play with it. All right. I think the silicone mat works better than this one too, but that's all right. All right, so as that's drying, I already stamped the Sending Sunshine Your Way. That's in the same set. And I used my Everyday Circles, which I love the everyday dies. I'm using them tons. And they all have the polka dots. And I love polka dots. So that's where I got that. And then the birds, I already stamped and cut. And my birds don't fly away because I keep them in a bowl.
Oh,
Isn't this? Yeah.
touche.
So I have like the little birds and I have the flying birds and I have more than I need. So that's there. And then actually I'll do the inside while that's drying because I think the inside came out really cute. So I have, this is the leftover of the paper that I cut. So I'm just going to cut, what is an inch? Yeah, an inch. Actually, I like these little cuts since I'm doing it smaller. I'm going to use that side. And then I'm going to cut it by 4. So I have this square. Nope, that's for the front. Here we go. I have pool party again, just to mimic kind of the front, the inside. Yeah, I'll be daring too. I will stamp after it's all glued together like Anne did, because it's not a competition.
We always say that, but it is. I mean, did I say that out loud?
And then I'm gonna put this as my card base. And to me, having all these, we have birds called piping plovers. I don't know if you have them over there.
Not by that name.
And they are tiny little birds. They're not seagulls, but they're tiny little beach birds, and they are protected. So a lot of times when the piping plovers are around, like you can't. So some of our beaches, you can drive your car or
Yep.
your truck or
Yep.
your Jeep on
Yep.
the beach, and so when the plovers are out, you can't. So they're protected bird. There we have them like down Cape Cod and
Yeah.
different areas. So this
I don't
reminds me of the
think
paper.
we have anything like that.
Okay. So I'm just going to use my stamp pad here. And here we go. We have this. I just think they're so cute, these little birds. So I'm going to start this one. And then I'm just going to have them kind of like as if they were running on the beach. And if I wanted to get really fancy, I would put my scrap paper, since I already attached it to my card. I wanted just a half a bird. And that's so it's on the edge. All right, so that should have given enough time for this piece to dry. And I'm going to cut it just like I did the other one. I'm going to turn it on the back side and just line up the edge and the edge along with the cutting track. Swipe those away. And do it this side so I have a straight edge. I'll clean my cutter later. So it just really cleans up the edges there. So you have, there you go. So I have I'm thinking this is sunset color, but I suppose it could be a sunrise, but I think the orangey is more of a sunset color.
So what color is that, Christine?
I think it's petal pink.
All right. Yep.
I could tell you.
Because I was going to say I couldn't get Calypso Coral, and it's petal pink.
Actually, no. It says Flirty Flamingo, but that's definitely not Flirty Flamingo.
I found
unless it's a lighter shade of petal pink. Yeah, petal pink.
Yeah.
All right, so and then this just lines up right like that. I just think that's so pretty. You could, if you wanted to, it's too late now, but if you wanted to like tuck in a sun, like underneath, you could do. Are you laughing?
Sorry. It took me a little while to think of what you were saying there. Tucking
in the sun.
Yeah, I now know.
All right.
If you would like the sun to look like it's rising or setting, is what I needed for my head. Not that anyone else would have needed it. It is so nice. I love that card.
Thank you. All right, so let's pop this on, and then we'll put our birds on because I have them riding the waves. I don't know if you noticed. They're so cute. All right. Sending sunshine your way. So actually, I guess it's a sunrise, right? If we're sending sun. All right, so this is where tweezers come in handy. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on my card versus putting the glue on my seagull.
Which is a really good tip.
Thank you.
I could learn from that tip many times.
Then I have these cute little birds. So I'm going to cut its legs off.
Oh, come on. Can't do that.
Sure I can. And so because I want them to ride the wave. I want this one to be tucked in. So I have a little leeway there. If you could leave the legs on and if you have room, but you might not have room. So just cut the legs off. I'm going to tuck this one under and put it on the angle because it's riding up the wave. And then this one I'm going to cut its legs off too. And I'm going to put this one, I need a little dimensional. I'm going to cut a tiny piece. Like that. Usually you take your pick tool for that, but I use my tweezers. And then this one's going to be sitting on top of the wave, like that. So you see how he's kind of in there.
Do they need life jackets?
Well, I could draw them on there.
Sorry.
With my orange pen. All right, so
I will correct myself by way of guidance later.
Oh no, my ear pods are going dead. We've been on for a while. Good thing I'm done. All right, let's see. So let me just show you. I'll just put all my kind of samples out there. Yeah, there should be one more. All right, you might have to do more of the talking, Anne, because my earphones. Let me know if you can't hear me. Okay.
I can hear you. Look, I love those cards, and what a great collection of them.
Thank you. And I'll post pictures, so I'll give you pictures.
Yep, and I will too. That's my job for this afternoon. So do you want to show mine just for those that might have joined us late?
Yep.
Get rid of that.
There we go.
Oh yeah, so that's my card and my envelope with the flock of seagulls. Sorry, I should swap that over because I got a little carried away, and that's how it should look, nice and subtly. So, Christine, that was we now. Oh, sorry, I'll do a quick bit of a wrap up. So we next get together on the 22nd and the 21st of March, I think, isn't it?
Yes, and we're doing it a week early because of Easter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but this time we're going to, because these were fairly stepped up projects with lots of techniques and ideas. Next time we're going to keep it simple. We're going to use some simple stamping techniques, which basically means very few techniques. We're going to be using ink, paper, and come on, what's the third one?
Design a series paper.
Oh, ink, paper. Yeah, design a series paper.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it simple, not too many layers.
Thinking of you theme.
And stamps. Ink, paper, and stamps. I was missing the stamps there. So we look forward to that. So we're not using any particular products. We're just going to make something that fits simple stamping, which is really good for that you will be able to replicate and make lots of, if that's what you wish. And hopefully we'll inspire you to do some simple stamping after we've been inspiring you to step it up for a few months. We're now going to take you back to what I would call the basics. And then the following month we'll be away, and so we'll do the Facebook Live with questions. So we've got lots of things planned, and the new catalogue, I believe I'm even talking about the new catalogue, comes out in May. So if you'd like a catalogue from Christine, contact her and she will arrange one, and same for me. If you would like a annual catalogue, send me a message as well and we will organise it. So Christine, thank you very much. I'll hand back over to you just to close the session.
All right, and I'm just seeing we have another first timer. Hello from Illinois. Not sure what your name is because your little handle says 7 of 11. So welcome. And if you may want to replay, go back to the replay if you're just hopping on. But for those of you in the United States, celebration is still going on for another couple hours. I have a mystery host party happening, and so if you want to hop on that, you can place an order. And right now the host benefits are what did I say, $215, which is crazy. So there's still a little time for that. And I think that's it. I'm very excited. The simple stamping I know will be a challenge for both Anne and I, but I think it's a good challenge. And
more for me.
It's a thing that Stampin' Up! Does, and it's like hashtag simple stamping, so you can go search for simple stamping cards. So we're going to kind of go with their thinking of you theme for the month. So we're doing that, and then in April we'll be together live, and that's going to be lots of fun. All right, so I'm glad you guys liked everything. I loved Anne's projects, so I'm excited to make some silhouette cards. And am I missing anything, Anne?
No, I think that's it. Other than I think it's unfair that you get an extra day of celebration that we don't get.
Well, you started a day early.
That's not the point. That's a relevant fact on this. IDO. On that note, thank you, everyone. This is our longest ever Facebook Live. I'm sure the next one, or not Facebook Live stream, but I'm sure the next one will be a lot shorter. Because we'll be keeping it fairly simple. But thank you, everybody. Loved having you, and thank you for leaving your comments. We've really enjoyed today. It's always great for us to catch up together and for us to catch up with you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, we'll see you because I think my earpods are starting to die. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.